Hello and welcome back to another McLaren F1 Manager live stream as we're already at round 4 in this 2024 season. Bit of a chilled out stream this one as we've got 23 days, so just over 3 weeks now until the Grand Prix in Baku. So we're going to be concentrating on a little bit more design work on the car. We've finished the first 3 races in 3rd place with Lando. And Oscar, his best position of the series so far, with 4th place in Australia. So 3rd and 4th last time out. So this stream just concentrating on prepping the car, doing a bit of design work for Baku. And then we'll probably get into some practice and qualifying as well. And then we'll leave it there and follow it up with another live stream of the full race. With that said, I think we can jump in and start this one. And unfortunately, some bad news to start off this stream, because it looks like our design work is going to be paused for a little while. So James Allison is saying we've encountered a serious problem during the design of side pod. Oh, it's just on the side pods, looks like, although it says all design work. So let's read on. Design of side pods, and we need to pause the design of all current projects until we resolve the issue. The wind tunnel is showing completely incorrect data, and we're not entirely sure why right now. We expect that there has been some sort of calibration error that may have been caused by an engineer who was rushing their work. A full investigation is necessary. We need your sign-off to put everything on hold, but we unfortunately don't really have any other option. Do you approve us investigating this problem? So it's going to delay all of this design work that we've got underway, but we can't not approve it. So, yeah, we're left with no choice but approve this. So it is going to delay all of our design projects by 6 days. Let's have a look at those, shall we? So, okay, it's not going to be too bad because we're still going to get all 3 of these designs easily done by Baku. So let's approve the pause, which is a bit irritating, but not too much we can do on that. Right, let's go through these news items then. So, monthly car development update. We started the season first in cornering. We've dropped on low speed, but we have now got a good amount of design work we're going to put into the car before Baku. So hopefully we can make some improvements there. Still plenty to do in the dirty air and the cooling, as well as our top speed on the car as well. Finances, we can check the finances, but I think we're pretty fine with where we're at on that in terms of cost cap. That's absolutely fine. It's very early on in the season. So Oscar's gone up a little bit on his stats, 85 overall. Lando's still at 90. And our board confidence check-in. So what are they saying? They've still got high confidence in our leadership, so that's all pretty good. So Ferrari have had some upgrades on their headquarters. Nothing much more than that going on. So let's go into pit crew training. So go to cumulative. We would be well rested by them. What do we want to focus on really? We've got once mistake is low. We want to really focus on pit stop time. I'm in tired there, so let's just put in. I'll try and put in some more rest days here. Brings them into well rested. They would be tired there. Bring a play about. Let's see what we can do here. Good. So, get tired, and then be happy with that. Confirm that. So, cumulatively, we would see coming into the Grand Prix on the Sunday, we are going to be at the tired phase. But then same with Miami, but not too bad. So pretty happy with that. Good evening, Dino. How are you? Hope you're well. What else did I just want to do there? Let's get into practice and qualifying, but are we a sprint weekend? We are indeed. So that's fine. We'll probably, yeah, we'll still do we'll do practice qualifying and practice 2 then in this stream. And we'll do a double header of sprint and full race in the next one. Happy to say investigation now complete and the error has been resolved. We can continue to design any car parts from where we left. Okay, so that will now be completed. Right, so new chassis and front wing. Good to hear, Dino. Yes, I am very well, thank you. I'm not too bad at all. So we've got 16 days to go. Let's... That's going to be normal. So we can do 4 of those. And it was the chassis. I'm just double checking we haven't got any other designs underway here. In terms of what we've not designed on the newest parts, but I don't believe we have. So chassis, manufacture that. So that's going to be 10 days. Might want to do 2 rushed. Then we will... Yeah, we'll do the rushed and then we can put a couple of normal ones on as well, depending on what we're designing. Right, so that's that done. So let us replace that with some more design work then. So chassis is now on the 3rd design. Do make good gains of the underfloor though, so I'm tempted to do another underfloor to be fair. We dropped to 3rd on the low speed. So we want to focus probably more on low speed. Just drop this right down. Something like that, I think will work okay. We'll go normal for that one. And what else? So we've got a suspension underfloor, side pods on the way, rear wing. We'll do another rear wing. I'll use the rest of our hours because I don't think... Got 26 days left. So let's just cancel out of this a sec. 26 days. The side pods. Okay, so could split it, I guess. So we get a bit of something on each of those. Let's drop that back down. Where is our DRS effectiveness? It's pretty bad, isn't it? Let's go for something like that. Right, there we are. So we've completed 2 designs. We will get the side pods done. We'll get them on the car as well. So we're going to be rocking 3 new parts for this Baku Grand Prix. And then we're going to have a little bit of a wait then till our next designs because they're all around, what, 34 to 43 days. So about 5 to 6 weeks So where would that bring us really? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the 8th. Yeah, somewhere around here. Monaco Grand Prix is probably where we're going to have our next batch of upgrades. Somewhere between Imola and Monaco, I'd say. So yeah, for Baku and Miami, we will have new parts on the car for Baku. We won't have new parts for Miami. And then by the time we get to the next round of races, across this triple header, Imola, Monaco and Spain, we'll have some new parts on the car for then. So side pods are done now as well. It'll be 8 days for the first one. Again, we probably want to rush those. I'm going to spend a little bit more up front at the beginning of this series, and then we'll get a bit more cautious as we go. Alright, got a new regulation vote coming up here. We're proposing new minor technical regulations for the 2025 season. Assessed all our current regulations and we believe that many can and should be changed. Right, what are they saying here? Okay. So it's quite significant as in the amount of elements that are going to be affected by this. It's going to be low, medium, high speed, which we had last year. But it's also going to affect the drag reduction, brake cooling, airflow for suspension, underfloor, side pods, rear wing, front wing, and chassis. So everything is going to be affected by it. So moderate or minimal. We'll vote minimal where our car is at now. So let's see how that one plays out. Yeah, we know stuff is low in stock, but that's because we're waiting for some new parts to be manufactured. Side pods are done. Front wing is done. So it has been, the minimal regulations has won that vote. So the one that we voted for has passed. 7-3 it looks like. So Ferrari, Red Bull, Alpine voting against, the rest voting for. So it'll be a 5%, so a slight change on all of those parts for the 2025 season. Chassis is done as well. Right, let's get into the car then. Got a new chassis to put on the car. A new front wing to put on both cars. And new side pods to put on both cars. Let's just double check what else we're manufacturing. So we're manufacturing nothing else at the moment. What have we got being designed? Because I don't really want to... we haven't replaced that design work, did we? So we'll do that in a second. Rear wing suspension, underfloor. Design another front wing as well. Okay, so let's go for that. We'll lose a little bit on the high speed, but that's fine. As we'll use the rest of the engineers rather than one whilst I've got them. Right, so what have we got in stock here? We've got 2 chassis, 2 side pods, 2 underfloors, 2 suspensions. Yeah, so we probably want to do another chassis. Side pods and suspension. got a suspension on the way, so let's manufacture one more of side pods. Let's have a look. So I think we were then showing a second, weren't we? So showing that we've dropped in these areas and not improved in the others. So we'll see how that pans out, sorry. Which is interesting because you normally outdevelop the AI. I think we've got 3 designs done there. So yeah, they might just have more significant designs. But I think once we get into another couple of races, we should see us eating into that. Especially when we get this other underfloor done. So let's do these performance targets. Reach Q2. Yes, we'll have 2 drivers Q2. Let's go for at least 8th with both drivers. I'm not going to guarantee the fastest lap, and we're still on this finishing streak, aren't we? Yeah. 1 out of 2, so that's fine. So that is our performance target set. So let's jump in to this first practice session of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. We've got to make this first practice session count, really, because it's a sprint weekend, so we'll be in Parc Fermé after that. So hopefully we can nail this pretty early on. Let's see how we go.
Greetings from Azerbaijan.
A sprint weekend, as we had in real life this weekend, is high drama indeed. Max back to his old ways. Up to 18 laps. Right, let's... On a good front wing, I'm going to decrease the rear wing. These we can go a bit random on. Let's go with that. Here we go. Let's send Lando out first for a change. Car covers off and Lando's out of the garage, shortly followed by Oscar Piastri.
Loud and clear.
So yeah, certainly interesting over the weekend, wasn't it? I had a friend round. It's the first time we've watched a race actually together, although we've been talking about F1 for years and years and we watch it all separately. So yeah, looked interesting when the race begun. Then it kind of looked like it was just going to be Max's race, and then that pit stop changed it all and it got all a little bit too exciting. But yeah, it was a shame it ended how it did. Found Max's post-race interview quite interesting because all those battles with Lewis, he would be, you know, highly defensive.
We've had a big crash here.
As we've got a yellow flag and a crash. Who is this then? Are we going to get a replay? Doesn't look like we are. Yeah, he wasn't as defensive in terms of his post-race interview, so don't know if that's just because he's
Give us a balance check
close to Lando, or he knew he's a little bit in the wrong.
Okay, copy that.
Definitely spices things up for Silverstone this weekend. We weren't that far off on the rear wing, I don't feel. Let's try and get Lando out as quickly as possible. That's a bad start for us there, having a bad setup. And same with Oscar. So this isn't great. We need to try and overcome this straight away. It was actually good on the tractions. Let's... Yeah, Dean, that's the exact same thing I said. One of my friends, I think, bless him, he would have been booed anyway, but that's locked in for sure now. I don't think that's quite right. I'm not confident in that setup at all. It might be starting off on the back foot on this weekend, but let's see what we can do in these second runs here. I mean, what I don't like about F1 is, well, actually, it's not just F1. It's like, you know, I watch football as well, and people can't see past their own team or driver, so they're blinded by, you know, bias, basically. I've seen so much rubbish about the incident, you know. That crash was caused by Max. That's factual. So, if you're a Max fan, fair enough. I don't think it was, you know, the worst accident I've ever seen. But you can't blame Lando for it. But it's just interesting because we've had this narrative, really. Who do you support in football? Unfortunately, Man United. I used to be called a glory hunter for supporting Man United, but not anymore, Callum. Not for the last 10 years. But yeah, we've had this narrative on Max that he's changed, he's matured, and...
balance check when you can.
Yeah, I mean, he may have matured when he's got clean air and he's got a teammate that struggles to finish in the top 10 and he's not being challenged by anyone, but as soon as he's got a challenge, it looks like the old Max has reared his head. But I'll give him one thing, Max. He does make an exciting race, and I do prefer drivers to actually fight. You know, you don't see that a lot of times now in F1. Sometimes they think someone's coming through who's a bit quicker, and they just kind of concede the place to come home. For example, they'll concede the place, come home second, bring the car home, and all that nonsense. So, I mean, at least Max fights. But yeah.
Any feedback?
Yep, it's all good.
Copy.
Let's bring Lando back in. What about you, Callum? Who do you support? Okay, right. We've got it up to 77. That's a little bit better. Front wing, which is not where it should be, and the traction. Traction. I'm going to go about there. Cornering was good. Try something like that for Lando. Villa, nice, Callum. Well, you're a happy man across the last year anyway.
Virtual safety car. Delta positive.
Copy.
European football for you this year.
We've got Ricardo here in a spot of bother.
Danny Rick has crashed. We've got a FSC because of
Here's
it
our
in the
drivers, all
RB.
trying to take turn 16. Oh, and the car with a nasty crash into the barrier.
I think that's Danny Rick out of practice, is it? Can't quite see yet where he is. Stallard and Piastri are having a natter. Yeah, Ricardo has retired from the session then. Makes me laugh. People have just called it hard racing. I didn't know hard race. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Dino. It's hard racing, and I think, you know, Max is always going to be a hard racer, and I like that. You know, it makes it exciting. As I say, I've used it too much now in Formula One, where people don't fight because it's all about conserving tyres. But yeah, there's hard racing, and then there's clearly when you're in a braking zone, moving over and collecting another car. What I did find funny is he had that puncture and it looked like Lando had got away with it at that stage, and Max was still cutting him off on the straight with a puncture. But he's obviously a fierce competitor. But yeah, he's the moving, even if it's subtle, that moving in the braking zone, not leaving a car space. I mean, that's on Max for that one. But as I say, it's not the worst incident I've ever seen. But it's just odd how Red Bull and Max fans saying it's Lando's fault, which doesn't make sense. Callum, what are you going to do when F1 Manager 24 comes out? Well, I'm probably going to stop this series, I'd say, Callum, because I doubt anyone wants to really watch F1 Manager 23 when 24 is out. So I'll probably switch over to 24. Probably going to do create a team at that point. Where I'm based in east of the country, not too far from what was the Lotus team. I'm thinking about doing create a team and going for Lotus is my idea at the moment. So that's what we plan to do in about, 2-3 weeks time. What I might do is try and finish this off stream if I can. Just bash out all the series, the episodes, so I can at least get this season done. So I can at least bring this one to a natural close. But in terms of live streams, we'll definitely swap it over to F1 Manager 24 in about 3 weeks time. Right, straights, we've lost a bit with Oscar. That was great. That was good. That was great. That might not be too far away, you know. We're not going to get a full set of feedback here, though, are we? Well, how long's left in the session? 10 minutes. No, we're not going to get hardly any. So qualifying is going to be tricky. But we might be able to get them closer in practice too, although we won't be able to make any changes apart from wing angle, but... Yeah, exactly, Dino. And I think Stella was right for McLaren Andreas when he said, the punishment really should be based on, the severity of, what is caused, really. Because ultimately, Max doing that
So we have
gained, 10-point advantage in the championship. And Lando was unable to continue, so really... the punishment should be based on that, in my opinion. Anyway, we finished practice 1. Track acclimatization, very poor. Car parts knowledge is poor because we've got 3 new parts on the car. And setup satisfaction isn't great either yet, and it's a bit unknown until we get into that next practice session. So driver prep for quali is a struggle for both. 46% for Lando and 39% for Oscar. There we go. Confirmation for 39% driver prep for Oscar, 46% for Lando as we head into qualifying.
And the race weekend continues. Here we are now at qualifying.
Yes, people were saying about him having a grid penalty, but I can't see that happening now. They gave him the 10 seconds for the race, so they can't then give him another penalty. So just in the past now, but yeah, it's very spicy. It's going to make Silverstone very spicy indeed. George was just there to pick up all the pieces.
Okay, Oscar. So the track will go green now.
Right, let's get banker lap in. Yeah, it's always going to be bad going to quality. Yeah, it is always bad, Dino, but sometimes you can get a little bit better than that. But we'll see.
Just keep an eye on the delta. The delta needs to be negative at the end of the lap.
It looks like Lando might have had some traffic there because he's a long way off Oscar.
Yep. Get the delta negative. Box, and call the car. All right.
Let's get them set up on some fresh sauce. Just waiting for the rest of these times to come in. A red flag.
Red
Ooh,
flag.
What has happened here then? Alex Albon has sent it into the... Oh, Jesus. Didn't even spin
Sorry,
it.
guys.
I think Alex wants to take part in qualifying, just driving straight on there. And normally we're used to seeing Logan doing that, but it's Alex Albon who is into the wall, out of the session. Hulk was my driver today. Yeah, brilliant from the Hasses, actually, wasn't it? Doing a really good job, especially Hulk. So, yeah, on board with that. Problem with the driver of the day now, it's just a personality contest, you know, fan base, isn't it? Lando's got a big... I like Lando, but he's got a big fan base, so same with Lewis and... right, do we send Norris out? Albon's not going to set a quicker time. Ricciardo's 7/10 off, so we expect... But Joe's only a 10th off. I think we've got to send Lando back out. I'm not going to send Oscar out. I'm going to do it on a scrub set, though. Bit of a risk. Track is... can't really find a space for him. I'm just going to have to go for it. Alright, here we go then. Lando Norris having a run again in this first qualifying session. Verstappen's going to have to run again. He obviously got called out by that red flag, but we expect him to improve. Alonso leading the way at the moment. We just want to see some green sectors here from Lando. And if he gets green sectors, I think we're comfortably through. Got a bit of traffic we're approaching now. One of the Alpines is Ocon. Gets out of our way nicely though. Have gone green in that first sector. Checkered flag is going to fall in 15 seconds, so we'll see whether we are already through, if any of these have completed their final lap. Saying that these are all on in laps. Which, if that is correct, we are through. Max on a flyer.
We have checkered flag now.
And yeah, we look to be through. We are through now. Magson's finished. So we are through. We may as well complete this lap because we're not going to reuse these tyres anyway. We go green again, that second sector. Max has set a flying lap and is through, which is a shame. That would have been a nice little shocker to see Max out in Q1 here. But let's see what Lando sets, see if he can get up to Piastri's time. Might be a little bit off that because he's on a used set now. Lando up to come across the line then. And we go 5th and about a 10th off, less than a 10th off Oscar, so that's a lot better from Lando.
Good lad.
Bono's happy. Bono's a happy man about that. So there we go, Fernando saying the fastest times, followed by 2 Red Bulls, 2 McLarens, 2 Ferraris, but we're not too interested in that because it's only Q1. So Albon out because he crashed out, didn't set a time. Looks like Tsunoda might have been called out somewhere in traffic because he's 3 seconds off 18th. Gasly, that's a strange one because Alpine have had good pace this year. So Gasly are surprised to be out in Q1. Bottas out and Danny Rick, but Mick Schumacher makes it through. He's been struggling this year. Ocon and the other Alpine, so maybe Alpine not suited to this track, but we'll see as things develop. That was a bit of a mixed up session because of the red flag, of course. Do we let Oscar go out on a scrub set? So Lando may have to use an extra compound of tyre here. And we'll just get these times in. Norris on some fresh rubber. Let's see what we set. Hulkenberg's going to be in our way somewhere here. Hopefully he moved out of the way.
delta negative at the end of the lap.
Did Norris get traffic again there?
This lap.
Yep.
He weren't on board, but Norris was on fresh softs
Delta.
and he's half a second off.
So
So
just confirming boxing and back into the garage.
35. Oh, we've got another red flag. Can we just see those lap times? I think we caught Hulk in that, was it the middle sector or the last sector? So Oscar was quicker than him in all sectors, so maybe it's just Lando struggling with the driver preparation at the moment. Yeah, because look, his tyre life 7% newer, and obviously at the start of that 100%, and less than a tenth between him first sector, lost 4 in the second sector, so perhaps that's where we encountered Hulkenberg, but still lost a tenth again in that final sector. So work to do for Lando, as we've got another red flag, as you can see.
So
Come on, be a Red Bull, be a Red Bull. Be a Red Bull. Oh, Sergio, you don't disappoint, do you?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Right. So Oscar will get on some fresh sauce. Keep Lando on those for now. Just monitor the times. But Sergio Perez is out in Q2. And that means he's going to start this Grand Prix. Well, he's going to start the sprint on this game, unfortunately, because we're not with the new regs. But he'll start the sprint in 15th. So we'll see how far up the grid he can get for the full race. But that's good for us, because we may be in a championship battle with them. Just want to see these other times come in. That's from their outlaps, isn't it? We definitely need to go again. These are all going to come in at the end of this lap, so we... I'm going to send Lando again out on that used set, because he's not far away, and I think he can find half the second on those. I'm going to try for this little... Or maybe a bit too close, actually, there. Hoping for a toe, but the other way around, and we've clicked that, haven't we? But nonetheless, that's fine. That's fine. Shouldn't cost Lando, because he's ahead, so... But Lando's got a bit of work to do here. Piastri, he's got the beating of him so far in these first 2 sessions. Right, let's hope for some green sectors, both cars. Approaching the first sector time now. And we are green, both sectors. So what have we done here? 35.7 for Oscar. 35.8 for Lando. So Lando is on used tyres. So about a 10th in it. But Oscar is giving... Lando is giving Oscar a nice little tow here. So... yeah, it might not be that comparable, to be fair. Wanted it the other way round, really. But green again. 40.8 for Lando. 40.9, so 40.8 for Oscar, sorry, 40.9 for Lando. So again, another temp. So Oscar's a couple of temps up. I think mainly because he's getting this lovely tow. Look at this. Don't take each other out. But yeah, Oscar's definitely going to go quicker, because he's overtaking Lando here. Oscar goes purple with that tow. Lando, ooh, it's
So
not.
call the car or box. Yeah, confirm.
I've got these times coming in now. We've got, yeah. Everyone is on a flying lap below Lando, though. Lando is not safe here. I think he's safe from Mick Schumacher, but the Haas or Joe, who we've got to watch. Where's Joe? So I think we're going to have Magnussen across the line first here. Here we go then. What K-Mag doing? He's getting a nice little tow as well. Oh no, K-Mag has put Lando on the bubble. And Stroll is probably going to go faster. Because he's in an Aston Martin who's got great pace around here. So I'm expecting to see Lando out here. And it happens. That's on us, really. We should have put a fresh set of softs on Lando, and we should have given him the tow. So we have absolutely compromised Lando's running there. But Dufay wasn't doing the business on his first runs, which is unlike Lando. See, I'll give Lando the tow for Q3. Well, we would have, but that is not going to be possible now, as we have truly ditched him up. And Lando is out, along with Sergio Perez. So a couple of surprises there for the rest of the grid. Which is Lando out and also Sergio Perez out. So give me 2 minutes, I shall be back. I just need to pop and grab a drink and we shall resume. Oh, right, sorry about that. I've returned. Right, where were we? So, yeah, that's on us, really, Lando going out there. So, that's a shame. But I guess in terms of championship battle, at least we're ahead of Sergio Perez. But now all on Oscar Piastri. Plenty of softs. But we'll go with that, to be fair. Stroll is very overrated in this game. His stats are far too high. Yes, indeed. Indeed they are, Dino.
Okay, Oscar, so the track will go green.
I'm going to send him out right behind Alpine. We can't get the toe off Lando, so we'll try and borrow it off someone else here. Anyway, same as always. Let's just get this banker lap in. But yeah, Stroll is over it, but it does look like the Astons have started this series with good, or started this season, 2024 season with good pace.
P1.
If you could keep your pace
But yeah,
up
I just
in
knew
that-
as soon as Stroll was in that drop zone and on a flyer, we were going to be out. But that's our fault, really. Right, let's get a fresh set on. I'm gonna watch this garage. As soon as someone comes out, I'm gonna go. So after that first round on a scrub set, 7th for Piastri. Big difference between Charles Leclerc and his teammate Sainz. Yeah, just 200ths between Verstappen and Alonso there. Right, let's go. A little bit behind Sainz. But Max is not going to get a tow. Here we go then. Oscar Piastri. Final run here. I don't think we're going to get much of a tow off Carlos there, unfortunately. Might be getting a little one there. Yeah, we want to be about 4 or 5 car lengths up the road, and we've got quite a nice little tow there, I think. Anyway, let's see what first sector is. We have gone green, so that's good. 35.4 for Max. We're 35.6, so we're a couple of attempts off Max, so we're not going to be challenging him. What did Sainz do, actually, in that first sector? 35.8. So we're a couple of attempts up on Sainz, so that's good. Again, we've just not got the pace in the car yet to challenge Red Bull, and I think Alonso and Aston Martin might be quicker than us this weekend. Stroll, I'm very well. How are you? Another green sector for Oscar, so that is good. Let's just have a look at those. 40.6 for Max. So again, a couple of attempts off, but a couple of attempts ahead of Sainz. These are obviously out laps here. Quicker than... Yeah, they're out laps. So we're going free that we're in this little up the road here with Max about to set his fast time. We're a couple of attempts off him, and then or 4 attempts off him across those 2 sectors, but then we've got that margin on Sainz. So we're not going to go quicker than Max, but we will be going quicker than Carlos Sainz. Let's see what we set. So we go into 3rd.
That's P3, good stuff.
Half a second off Max.
Happy with that.
But there are other cars to come yet.
Copy.
So we've got Charles Leclerc. About to cross the line. Doesn't go quicker. Hamilton goes across the line. Does go quicker, but not quicker than Piastri. Who else is next across the line here? Alonso, he set his time. He was already ahead of us. Magnussen set a time, goes quicker than Ocon. Let's just see what Russell does. Russell and Stroll now to see if they can jump Piastri. Russell doesn't. Ocon goes back ahead of Magnussen. David, hello, how are you? Hope you're well. We're just waiting for Stroll now to come across the line. Stroll on track, Stroll in the chat. And Stroll doesn't do enough, so that is a great lap from Oscar in the end. P3 for Oscar Piastri. Lovely indeed, that is. So there we go. That is the final results of this qualifying session. Max Verstappen, as always, on pole. Fernando Alonso, though, has had good pace, as has Aston Martin across this Baku weekend so far. Oscar Piastri, though, great job there to get third for us. Lance Stroll in the other Aston fourth. Charles Leclerc fifth. Hamilton sixth with Russell seventh. So those Mercedes doing well this weekend as well. Sainz in eighth. Ocon ninth. Magnussen 10th. And as we said, disappointing for Lando in 11th. And the other shock, Perez, starting the sprint from 15th. Thanks for your help. I've learned it. Somehow clicked in my head. Oh, good to hear, Lance Rowley. If you need any more advice, always jump into chat and what have you. Happy to help. Right, so final part of this stream is we're going to jump into practice. That's fine. So got some engine wear there, but that's fine because we can start to use that in the practice sessions. Right. So yeah, Oscar got a setup now of 97%. So could try something like that, just one front wing adjustment. And then we can always revert it. So I'll just let him run long. Lando's not good at all and we can't really do much. So that is where Lando's struggling. Yeah, there's no point changing it. So that is where Lando is struggling. Yep, not much we can do there then. So Lando's not going to have a great driver prep compared to Oscar Piastri. But let's jump into this final practice session.
Sessions should be starting now.
Well, could be a weekend where Piastri gains more points than Lando. But we'll wait and see. Long way to go, especially street circuit. Got to keep it on the road first and foremost across the sprint and the full race. So we're not too bothered about the feedback that we get here. It's more trying to build this track acclimatization up in this final practice session. That probably explains why Lando is a little bit off the pace than Oscar. He's just not got the confidence in the car that Oscar has.
Oscar, is the car all okay?
We just need to focus, get this track acclimatization up now, just to give him a little bit more driver prep, as well as that car parts knowledge. We've got to hope our design work in the next couple of races starts to pay off. Because,
Stand by.
yeah, it'd be nice to give Max a championship battle in this series. At the moment, he looks odds on to win this sprint and full race. And getting there with the track acclimatization up to 63% now for Oscar, 60% for Lando. Hopefully that will ramp up now. We've been on track for a little longer. Now creeping into the 70s, but that's not good. Virtual safety car.
Got a car stopped on the track. Debris everywhere.
Hulkenberg has crashed and
Everyone
is
alright?
out.
Yeah, we
Not
think,
going to get a
driver
replay.
okay. VSC, VSC. Keep the delta positive.
Cool.
That's ended now, so we can crack
VSC
on.
ending.
Yep.
See how close we can get this.
Something seems wrong.
We're just checking.
How close we can get this track acclimatization. Should get it in the 80% range for both. Yeah, so Oscar now into 80%. Lando's there as well, so not too bad. Not quite going to get 100%. I don't think that VSC helped, but that's fine. As they're coming to the end of the stints now.
That's the checkered flag.
I am playing on PC. Right, so let's have a look then. So, set of satisfaction, I think that's gone the other way, hasn't it, for Oscar? I think it was 97%, so we'll revert it. Yeah, track acclimatization for Oscar, 91%. Car parts knowledge, 71%. Set of satisfaction is 95%, but we can increase that to 97%. So an overall driver prep, 87%. Lando track acclimatization, 85%. 71% as well on the car parts knowledge. But unfortunately, only 79% on the setup. So his driver prep is 78%. So advantage to Oscar across this weekend, starting third in the sprint, and Lando starting at 11th, and he has an advantage on the driver prep as well. There we go, just confirmation going into sprint and the full race. 87% driver prep for Oscar Piastri and 78% for Lando Norris.
We're back and the action is set to get...
And what I want to do is have a look at car setup so we can revert that 97%. And then let us save it there. We've got it where we need to be. As I say, this stream is really just focusing on getting the design work done, which we done pre-Baku, but it's not really improved the car against our competitors. But I think once we get to Monaco, so a couple of races time, we'll start to out-develop the AI. So hopefully we'll start to close on Red Bull and pull away in that battle with Aston Martin. But yeah, got through the design work. We've done practice and qualifying. So as I say, unfortunately, Lando knocked out in Q2, so starts 11th. Oscar, a great lap to qualify P3 and now finished practice 2. So the cars are set up, ready for the sprint. So on the next stream, we'll do a double race weekend, or double race, should I say. It's on the same weekend, but double race, double header in terms of we'll do the sprint and the race in that stream. Typically it is on a Tuesday and Friday, but I'm actually away Friday, so I might try and fit that stream in on another day. If not, we'll return this time next week, so 7:15 BST on Tuesday. And yeah, on that stream, we will take on Baku in the sprint and the race. As always, thanks for getting involved in the comments, the likes, and all the love on